Morning. It's been a while. God, it's been quite a while. I've not really been fishing much because it's been such a dreadful year for it. Last time I was fishing on a river was at the start of July, and it was on the river that I'm visiting just now, the Spey. I was on holiday for a week. I went fishing one evening during the heatwave. Caught one fish, struggled to get back, decided nope, not doing that anymore. So because it's been too hot, either that or the water levels are just so low, I've not been fishing, not on the rivers. I had a whole week on the Isle of Harris where I was planning on fishing loads and loads of lochs and catching some amazing fish. It was the week of Storm Floris, so I did do a bit of fishing. Didn't record any of it because I don't think anybody wanted to see me hooking my ears and things like that. Okay, people might have wanted to see it, but I'm not sure I wanted to show it. So that was more or less a dud from a recording perspective. I did a little bit of fishing, caught a few fish, nothing major, nothing particularly exciting. I think the biggest fish was a sea trout of about a pound. I've been down at the shore at the grassy beach, Broughty Ferry, once recently, and annoyingly I forgot to bring my camera because I had 3 sea trout and 4 mackerel spinning, and it was a good session. I am tempted to try and get back with, I've got a 7-weight fly rod, so if I could get a nice enough day, I might give that a go. But otherwise, this is me. It's the first to be out, really. It's a bit windier than I would like, but we had rain a couple of days ago, which brought the river levels up a bit. They're coming down now, but they're still a reasonable level, and the water started to cool a bit. I'm hoping I might get a decent amount of fish activity, but we'll just have to wait and see. So give it a shout, give it a try, and yeah, see how things go. As I said, I'm fishing the Spey today up at Newtonmore, an area which most people will be familiar with if you've seen my videos. So yeah, give it a go, see how I get on, hopefully catch some fish because I've taken a day off work for this. I've just been needing to get out, I've been needing to get fishing. I don't think people who don't do it appreciate just how bloody good it is for you, for your mental and physical health. So yeah, even if I don't catch, I'm going to be happy that I'm out, I'm chilled, I'm focused, I'm enjoying myself. So let's see how things go. So I'm at the first pool that I come to. I've been looking at it for a minute or two, not really seeing any hints of anything rising or, well, any much signs of activity at all at this stage, so not the best sign. What I'm going to do is, because I'm going to start on dry dropper, I'm going to use a foam daddy for the dry fly, because it's that time of year, and with there being a little bit of breeze, you've got a reasonable chance of taking that, and the fact that it'll keep because it's a slightly bigger dry fly, it'll hold a slightly bigger nymph up. So I'm going to use that as the dry, and I'll probably just go for something like a pheasant tail nymph for the dropper and go from there. But yeah, there's nothing rising, nothing jumping. I have brought my ultralight spinning gear in case they're not taking this. I even brought, just in case there was obvious signs of like salmon being about, because the permit does include salmon. I don't normally target them, but just heard that fish rise. Yeah, I wouldn't normally target salmon, but it's September, you've had a bit of water, there's a chance of it, so I've got a slightly heavier spinning rod for that. I don't have any salmon fly fishing gear, so you never know. Do you know what, because I did just hear something, I might start with just the dry fly by itself, just the daddy, a few half a dozen casts with that. Over to the side over here tends to be where you find the fish, are most likely to be active, or well, most likely to be rising. Not always big fish, but it's nice to see something anyway. If I don't get anywhere with that, I'll then move to add a dropper on. The wind is going to be a problem today, and I knew it was when I left the house. I think it's forecast to be about 15 miles an hour, gusting up to 25-30. I probably should have gone with something a bit stronger, a bit better than my ultralight 4-weight rod, but you know, I've done it now. Might as well give it a go. Right, dry fly's on, I've kinked it. Let's give it a cast and see how quickly I get into the tree. There we go. Fish on. Okay, that went faster than I expected. Okay, so from Daddy Works. It's not a huge fish, but it's a fish. Go. Come on. You must catch yourself. There you go. God, you damn near swallowed that, didn't you? Were you hungry? What? As always, use barbless flies so it's easy to get the things out. But first fish. Right, here we go again. I've seen another one rise. Try to watch what I'm doing because behind me is yet more bullshitty stuff. I don't know if it's the wind or what, that keeps causing me to effectively do this, catch on myself. Yeah, the wind's definitely not helping things, that's for sure. Right, we'll clean this up and I might move up a little. Okay, slight change of plan, I've moved slightly up. Stream, this pool could be great, that I'm going to walk into and round in this corner, but again, seen no signs of fish rising, so I've chucked a dropper on. So I've still got the pheasant tail nymph on. Oh, great, not the pheasant tail nymph. The foam daddy, which I've somehow managed to tangle. Well done me. But off the bottom of that, I've got a, well, you probably guessed it, a pheasant tail nymph. Right, we now have quite considerably shorter leader, so hopefully casting will be easier. We're about to find out. Oh, yeah, that makes a difference. Oh, it's quite a significant difference. Oh, something just went for the daddy. It missed it, but it went for it. Don't think it was very big something either, though, but there was no harm in bloody trying again. Because if it's not interested in the daddy, it might be interested in the dropper this time. There's a couple of decent submerged rocks there, and I think they were hiding behind that, so yeah, tiny little fish by the looks of it. Right, back at it. I've taken the decision to bin the dropper. All the interest I've had so far has been on the dry fly, so I might as well stick to just using that. I've had zero interest on any droppers at all, so added a bit more tippet. Also managed to catch my fly on the actual fly line, as you do. So let's try again. Oh, typical gust of wind comes, but I do feel like we're doing better anyway. Right, off we go again, this time with a little size, can't remember if it's a 14 or a 16, clink hammer. Oh, and the fish like that one. That was a straight yes please from the fish. Oh gosh. Right. I think we might have found our fly. Oh, not a terrible fish. Come on, there we go. There we go. First cast with the clink hammer. Boom. That works for me. Let's go with that. That will be sticking with the clink hammer. Right, get it released and back to work. Fish released. I've dried the clink hammer, given it a quick gink. Not expected to get lucky enough to get 2 fish in a row, but hey, not even trying. Nope, not going to be 2 fish, 2 casts. So there's another little spot, this little run here, where there's normally fish to be had. So I'm going to do a few casts, just half a dozen casts or so, in here with the dry fly, see if anything's interested. If not, I'll move up to the next pool. The plan will then be to come back swinging wet flies through this and see if that gives any more interest, or gathers, or yeah, gains more interest rather. Right. No. Don't think we're going to have much joy with the dry fly here. However, I think there's a better chance with the wets. We'll see how things go when I come back. Right, before I start swinging wet flies, just going to have another quick wee last go at this little pool here. Got quite a bit of plant life behind me, so backcasts are not the best. We'll see how we get on though. You know what, I think I'm willing to call this enough. Switch to the wet fly and start making my way back downstream. See how we get on that way. So yeah, we'll give that a go and see how we get on with doing that. Because swinging wet flies is not something I do very often, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Right, here we go. I have, yeah, a team of 3 flies. got a pheasant tail nymph, there's an olive thing, and I've got a black panel, because you can't go over the black panel, don't matter whether you're fishing. Lochs, rivers, anything. So I'm just letting it cast it slightly down, so you let it come down, and then just retrieving. More often than not with these things I expect to get the take actually when it's on the curve, for lack of a better term. Right, I am getting tired, I'm not going to lie. It's only 2:30, but well, I've been out for 3.5 hours or so. I've changed my wet fly cast to, well, a longer one. I've now got a spider on top, a cruncher on the top dropper, and a hare's ear nymph, bead-headed one on the bottom, just to give the flies that little bit of depth. Not confident of catching anything, but might as well give it a try. I mean, worst that'll happen is you catch nothing. So I'm going to cast across this, let the flies drift down, and then try and retrieve. See how I get on. I am, as I said, not hopeful of catching anything, but might as well try. Then wet fly fishing's not my thing normally. Oh, something wait for what there. Okay, let's try that again. Actually, flies all appear to be correct. Yep. So something gathered interest. Thought it was a big fish, but it was a fish. Okay, so after losing the last little leader, swapping over to a 2-fly one, this time with a spider and a cruncher, because those ones seem to get the most interest. Right, I'm going to go for a fly change. Something. I know I didn't bring any bloody traditional weights or streamers or any of that sort of thing, but at this time of year they're going for fry and stuff, and weirdly enough there are flies that in the nymph type category that can work that way. They've got a nice shiny dial back, for example, and that's what I'm going to try. I'll replace the spider with it. The dropper is the green dial back, so red dial back on the point. Oh, that was definitely a take. Okay, now we're talking. Check the net. What's there? Yep, and yep. Okay. I don't know what I've caught to here. If it's a fish, it's a very small one. It is a very small one. It's fine, I can accept that. Off it goes. Well, still counts the fourth fish for the day, I guess. Just had another hit. And again. Let's try a slightly upstream version. Another one. I think it is probably just small fish, but it'd be nice to bloody hook into one. That's not a smaller fish. Oh shit, it's off. Ah, that felt like the best fish of the day. Just make sure both the flies are still attached. 1, 2, yep. Bugger. Right, I think I'm definitely going to call it for this pool. I might try, well, what I will do is I'll have one more cast and I'll just reel in rather than retrieve. Sometimes that particular steady retrieve makes all the difference. But anyway, yeah, well, I might try a couple of casts at the first pool that I was on this morning. Yeah, don't think that retrieve's working. Oh well. Right, I'm going to switch off because nobody wants to see me follow my arse straight across this bloody river. Well, back at the car now. Battery on my action camera died, so I'm now, yeah, done. I had a couple of casts in that last pool, then I caught a tree, and I decided that was me, I've had enough. It's now just coming up for 4 o'clock, so I've been fishing for best part 5 and a bit hours. 4 fish to the net, 1 lost one, which looked like it was going to be the best one of the day, but them's the breaks, and a good few pulls on the fish in the wets. Didn't end up using spinning gear at all, which is fine. Yeah, it was all right. I'm just glad that I'm frankly out. I've not been out fishing properly for months, it feels like, so yeah, I'm just happy to be out, happy to get time on the rivers. I feel like I've just not had enough. I'm hoping to get a little bit of time down at the grassy beach of Broughty Ferry in the next few weeks before the the season ends, basically. And then, yeah, don't know what the plan is for the winter months. We'll figure it out.